Hi guys, welcome to the fifth session of Basic English Grammar. Today we are going to cover adverbs and prepositions. So basically, what is an adverb? Adverb is something that modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb, phrase, or clause. Alright, so basically, what it'll do, it'll modify the verb. I think we've had some examples in the previous sessions also, but of course, we'll take them up in richer detail here. So that is why an adverb will indicate your manner, place, cause, degree, and answer such questions like how, when, where, how much. Of course, as we go through the examples, it'll be easier for me to explain and for you to understand. So, how this whole thing works, okay? So, adverb is basically something that is going to modify your verb, adjective, adverb, phrase, clause, whatever. Let's have a look at the examples to understand. The seamstress quickly made the wedding dress. So here, when I say quickly, you actually know that how it was made. Like what is the the degree of what shall I say, speed, maybe, that how fast it was made, right? How fast it was conducted. So basically, this verb made is being modified by the adverb quickly. The next is the midwives waited patiently through a long labor. So now you know what waited is. Waited is a verb which is meaning to patiently wait. And when I say sorry, which means to hold on. And when I say patiently, so now you know that they were not aggressive about it or they were not impatient. They were patient. So that is the midwives waited patiently through a long labor. So apart from modifying verbs, it can modify adjectives as well. Like we had talked about in the previous video, in the previous thing, that it can modify everything. It can modify an adjective, adverb, phrase, clause, anything, right? So, if it is modifying adjectives, let's have a look at the examples. The boldly spoken words would return to haunt the rebel. So now you know that this spoken adjective is being modified by boldly. Like how it was spoken in a very bold way. And like we had discussed before, here that how, when, where, how much, these questions are going to be covered by your adverb, right? The next is we urged him to dial the number more expeditiously. Right. So the verb more is being here more is being modified by sorry. Here the adverb more modifies the adverb expeditiously, right? So you know that adverb expeditiously exists and more means in a faster way, right? So that is why it is modified. Next is unfortunately the bank is closed at 3 today. Right. So here unfortunately is modifying the entire sentence. That the bank is closed today. You don't know if it is okay or not. It is just another day. But when I say unfortunately, so maybe that you had some work, but you know that unfortunately the bank is closed today, so you cannot work. So unfortunately modifies the entire sentence. And like we have talked about, that adverb also modifies an entire clause. Okay, next we come to preposition. A preposition links noun, pronoun, and phrases to other words in a sentence. The word or the phrase that the preposition introduces is called the object of the preposition. Right? So basically, preposition is by far in all these things the most easy thing to pick up and know whether you're doing it correct or not, because this is the one which does not have exceptions in general. It follows your general rule. So basically what it does, it links your pronouns, phrases, and nouns, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence. Like you will see in the examples, some common prepositions are about, above, below, beneath, beyond, but, by, despite, during, down, that we've seen, right? So a preposition usually indicates temporal, spatial, or logical relation of its object. All right, you know the space or the logic behind which, like, you will get to know what it is, right? For example, the book is on the table, so now it is relating the book and the table, and it explains the spatial relationship between it. Like, where is it, right? The book is beneath the table, again the same thing. The book is leaning against the table, so you know it is where it is placed. The book is beside the table, over the table. Then she held the book over the table, so you know where the location of the book is. You know the relationship of the location of the book with the table. She read the book during class. So you know that the time when this was being, like the time when she was reading this book. So a prepositional phrase is made up of the preposition, its object, and any associated adjectives or adverbs, right? A prepositional phrase can also act as a noun, adjective, or an adverb. So basically, now we've understood that if it is a prepositional phrase, of course, it has got to have a preposition. It will also have the object that, and the object, whatever its object is. Like the book is on the table, so you know that the table is going to be there. Like we see at home, in time. So at home, you know the location, you know the relation, right? In time, from John, with Terry, by running, under the table, right? So you understand what a prepositional phrase is. Okay, now we have certain rules for prepositions, which are very simple ground rule prepositions. There is one very simple rule for preposition, and unlike other rules, this has no exception. Like I told you, that preposition is one thing which has no exception. So this is one of the easiest thing to pick up in English grammar. A preposition is always followed by a noun. It is never followed by a verb. Okay, so it's as simple as that. That if there's a preposition, it is always followed by a noun. A preposition cannot be followed by a verb. If we want the preposition to be followed by a verb, we must use ing form, which is really a gerund or verb in noun form, which we will understand in the subsequent lessons. So that is what a preposition acts like, right? So a preposition is always after a noun. It is never followed by a verb.